Today we're on the way to Chris Firth's Pro-Am Boxing St Helens. Chris Firth's been around the game for a long time, so I'm looking forward to going in there and having a talk with him and seeing how he got into boxing, how he started his company, and why he's so passionate about it, you know, because you can see I've been watching his videos online lately and you can see he's so passionate about it, about how he makes his gloves and how he gives back to boxing. He's got his own boxing gym. You can tell this man's a proper boxing man, he loves boxing, so I'm looking forward to going in there and seeing what it's all about for him, and I'll ask him some questions, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll see you there now, Pro-Am Boxing. See what's going on down at the Pro-Am store. People like to see good content on there, especially boxing content. You show me some of your products down here, you show me why, Chris. Got some questions, is that alright, Chris?
Fire away, yeah.
The first one, Chris, is how old was you when you started boxing, and who influenced you to get into the boxing?
I was only young. The first time I went in the gym, I went into Low House Boxing Club when I was about 10 or 11. But like all that age, I wasn't serious. I was in and I was out, and I'd have a fight and I wouldn't be back for 3 months, and I'd have another contest and be back in 6 months. And then I think my first 5 or so were like that over 2 or 3 years, and I played rugby as well. My dad was a rugby player, professional, and I got sent to a school that was a professional rugby, went like a feeder, all boys, and they all went to like Warrington, St Helens, Leeds. You know, it sort of fed them.
Did they complement each other, the two sports?
Well, they're both physical, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, what happened, I had little man syndrome when I was like that age. I think it was about 40 kilo, and I'm playing hooker in the scrum, and I got sent off 3 games in a row for fighting. I wasn't a hard case or nothing like that, but I used to pick the biggest fella in the pack and chin him when the scrum was on. And that's stupid, I'd be caught doing it. So the school asked for my dad to come up and have a word, and my dad's I'll teach you type of attitude, and his team captain, his brother, run a local boxing club. If you're going to punch someone, learn to do it properly, you know, and where you're not going to get in trouble. So he drugged me down, and that was Eric Chisnall, was the Great Britain rugby captain, and his older brother was John Chisnall, old JC. So, and he was my first proper boxing coach that I listened to.
Is this the same Chisnall that Martin Murray told me about?
Yeah.
He'd drive around in the van, he'd get the kids in the street, get in the van, and we were all going to the gym.
That's JC, yeah, Chizzy, yeah.
What was he like? Can you describe for people who hadn't met him or didn't know him, what type of fella he was?
He was a typical rough-ass St Helens bloke. He was an ex-pro himself, like light heavyweight, and he carried himself like an old pro, and he was a brilliant coach, a lovely fella. Rough, but a lovely fella. And whatever Martin's told you about him is true, and I credit him to saving my life, to be honest.
Well,
I boxed for him as a kid in a couple of clubs. I followed him round, and then he opened his own club called Lee Green, and as he opened that, I was leaving school and I joined the army, so I ended up army boxing team and all that, and I used to come home, and it was obviously the first place you go was like when you come home on leave is where you feel at home, and I used to go to the gym and train in the gym with him. And I was based in Chester for a while, so every weekend I was home and he'd be saying, spar with this kid for me, spar with that one. And so I always stayed in touch with John. Then when I came out the army, like every other soldier, I had a bit of a mental problem because I was used to being told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And
lack of structure, would that be? Lack of structure?
Yeah, I was running wild basically. I was homeless for a bit. I left the army injured, so I couldn't go back to boxing, and I was running around with the wrong people really. And Chizzy found me, took me back in the gym, put me in all the coaching courses, and give me structure, and that's how I got back into me. I was only out of it really for a year or two, but it's a long time when you're a young fella. That
in a year, can it?
So like in my 30s, I was going through all the amateur boxing coaching courses, and we had a cracking little team. We had, like I said, we had Martin Murray, Gary Davis, Stevie Birch. We had a good little, all over the country, winning all the amateur titles and that. And as they got older, I was like going helping Colin Moorcroft in the pro gym. learn. I just wanted to learn about more about boxing and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
And did Colin Moorcraft work with Highland Promotions?
Yeah, again, John Ireland's a friend of mine. I used to always look up to John as a young kid, as an amateur boxer, because he was the pinnacle, wasn't
Yes.
he? So, and we used to supply all the gloves from the shop for John, by the way. And that's how I ended up working with Colin.
Yeah. Did you ever consider turning professional yourself?
As a boxer?
Yeah.
That was the plan, to be fair. Like,
Was times different back then, or?
it was a lot harder, yeah.
Because you see
Anybody
a lot of
could turn
fighters now.
pro.
Yeah, anyone can turn pro now, can't he? Like you see a lot of fighters who come off.
Everybody they were all top amateurs who were turning pro when I went, like in the 80s then, when
ABAs,
80s and 90s, they were all ABA champions and that.
I even feel like the ABAs doesn't mean what
it's
it was.
not as much since COVID, it's a bit watered down, isn't it?
Yeah.
But back then, my original plan was join the army, be in the boxing team, do 3-6 years or so in that, come out, turn pro, make a few quid, set myself up.
Yeah.
I can remember coming home on leave from Germany and going for a meal with a fella called Nat Basso.
Yes.
He was a lovely fella, manager and promoter, and I'm sat with my mate who's boxing pro, and he said, yeah, I'll buy you out the army, you can turn pro, I'll have you on Batley Town Hall in 4 weeks for 100 quid for a 4-rounder. And I thought, 100. I was boxing in the Bundesliga in Germany, amateur, getting like 300 quid a parent's money, and I'm taking 100 quid. You're having a laugh, mate. So I re-upped and stayed in the army a bit longer, because I was making good dough in Germany over there.
Well,
like.
yeah, because not what it's cracked out to be. People looking from the outside, looking in, everyone's a millionaire, aren't he? As professional boxers, that's what people think, but it's not quite like
honest, that. In what I remember before I joined the army was the Liverpool Stadium. You turn pro, you boxed in the stadium, and you're boxing all your mates every week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're knocking 7 bells out of each other for 150 quid.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I thought that looked good, but
one more before we move on to the shop and how you got into doing what you do now. What gloves were you used back then when you were amateur? Do you remember what gloves that you used to use, and what were the best around and what were the worst around? If
Crown, Kenny Sports. There's a shop in Kensington called Kenny Sports, and they used to sell gloves like them.
Yeah.
And they were like them.
Marcianos.
Yeah. And they had a crown on there, and it said Kensington Sports.
And were they detached thumbs?
Yeah, the thumbs weren't attached, no.
Wow.
And I think they were all share type, and I think they might have been 8 ounce.
And would you fight
then.
with the seam still on the glove back then? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was the Kenny Sports ones, and there was SP, and I think they had a factory in Eighton Industrial Estate, but they were plastic. And when I say plastic, I mean PU plastic.
Rip your face off plastic?
Oh God, yeah, they were hard as nails. It was like being, you know, that's what it was like, getting rat-tat-tat off someone when they get you with 3 jabs.
Globally, what would be the best gloves around back then?
Bailey's, funnily enough.
Bailey's?
Bailey's made the best boxing gloves in the world, and they were based in Northampton. They were sheepskin.
Well.
And if you look at any big boxing shows, mostly the pro shows, like even when Muhammad Ali was here up until when Minter and Hagler fought, they all wore Bailey's gloves.
What?
And you can't find a pair for love nor money now. People collect them, and they always ask, where'd you get them?
And there's still a few pair floating
You
around?
never find a pair. We had BBE when it used to be called Britannia Boxing.
Yeah, BBE, yeah.
And that was made in Burnley. Yeah, they were all right. They were a different BBE.
Oh, really?
It was called Britannia Boxing Equipment, and they sold it to a company in Preston. Howard, the guy who owned it, I remember him. Yeah. Lovely fella. He just changed it to BBE, but they were hard, them gloves, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them. And Brian, that was the other one. The ABAs, they always had Brian gloves. They were all right.
Yeah,
they were all right.
There's still a few pair of Al Bryans knocking around when I first went to the gym in the Al Smelly glove box. They must have been years old, like, but yeah.
Yeah, Brian was a good make. It was reasonably priced as well, I think. And then Lonsdale, obviously. Everything was Lonsdale then.
When you first had this idea in the head, not when you started manufacturing these gloves or products, but when was the idea first in your head that I'm going to make my own and I can do better?
My mum used to live in London.
Yeah.
And when I used to go and visit my mum for a weekend, and I'd go to the Lonsdale shop in Beak Street.
Wow.
And I'd get my own gear while I was down there. And I come up with the idea. I said to the lads in the gym when I was coaching, do you need any gloves or boots? Or I'm going down, because before the internet then, innit?
Yeah.
I'll go down to the shop while I'm at my mum's in London and bring some Lonsdale gear back for you. I used to do that now and again. And then I got offered a job at a company called ProTech.
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah,
ProTech?
yeah, yeah.
They're still about. He was a martial arts guy who owned it. He was a karate instructor, black belt and all that stuff. And he wanted to branch out into the boxing side, so he employed me to push it for him.
Oh.
So I was selling ProTech gear, only round Merseyside to all my friends who run the clubs and that, like, yeah.
What?
And then I thought, I could do this myself. So I owned I had a little unit on Eighton Industrial Estate, and I sold ProTech. And I had a brain fart one day, and I phoned up Everlast in America.
Yes.
And I said, you wouldn't be interested in selling your proper boxing gear over in the UK? And he went, we have a licensee who pays us $50,000 a year to use our logo, but they only sell sweatshirts, jogging pants, trackies. They don't sell the boxing gloves or anything. I said, well, that's what I want. And they went, yeah, we'll work a deal out. So I started being the Everlast distributor for the UK. Yeah.
Wow.
And that kicked off pretty well because everyone had seen it on the telly, but they'd never been able to buy it. And they did. I remember what I sold most of was, I don't know if you remember, the Everlast Iber Edgard.
Yes.
I brought them over to the UK.
Yeah, the Americans used them, didn't they? Before we
and
did.
everybody bought them and loved them. Used to get them in red, blue, like normal, and black and white, because you didn't have to have a red or a blue Edgard at the first, did you?
Oh, I see.
And then they asked me to help design the Iber approved glove, and they donated, I think, 50 pairs to NABCGs, and they used them in the championships every year for a while.
Well, I boxed in the NABCs. It was
use
then
Everlast
NACYP, and the only time I ever wore Everlast gloves as an amateur before being endorsed by them as a professional was in that tournament.
Yeah,
Maybe it was that around that time. He was a square glove. He was more square, on the knuckle, they had a white thing.
They felt a bit like them, to be honest, didn't they?
Wow.
Yeah, and they had the big white thing across the front.
Yeah, they had the white knuckle on them.
Yeah, and I brought them over. Yeah.
So doing your own pair of gloves, because going on to then saying I'm going to make my own.
Yeah.
Back then, I can imagine it was a lot different. Like, now you'd have the people on Instagram messaging you, we can make a glove for you, we'll send you 50 pairs. How would you go about it back then if you were looking on getting into it? Would you have to travel somewhere, or...?
No, well, it started by... The guy who owned Everlast at the time, they don't own it anymore. He sent his son over from New York to stay with me for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I was designing gear for them.
Oh.
Because it was pretty old-fashioned what Everlast were doing.
Yeah.
And I was sort of updating it to the more modern styles, you know what I mean? And I did the same with Grant as well. Elvis Phillips, who owns Grant, he used to come over to me as well. And I was their distributor, Grant. And he asked me about helping to design the gloves. None of them ever paid me, they were just having me pants off, weren't they? And that's how that went about. And then I thought to myself, I'm doing this for all these people, why don't I design my own brand?
Yeah.
So I just change. I sort of, I'd say a pair of Grant gloves and I go, this is a Grant glove. I don't like the lumps on it and I don't want this on it. Can you change it this way and change it that way so it's my glove?
Yeah.
And that's how Pro-Am came about, and I started doing...
And where was your link? Did you have to go out of the country, or was it inside the country? Did you have to, for your first manufacturer? Do you have any hiccups, like where they send bad batches back and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, you'd always get that. Yeah, you'd always get that. I had a few trial and error at first. And I managed to do okay with it. I didn't have to go to Pakistan or India and do it. Like I say, they used to come to me.
Well,
because it wasn't as big. There was no internet then.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of trial and error, and then we got it okay then. And then the next thing was, I got arguable approval.
Well,
I sent the gloves and the head guards off, and the Manchester Commonwealth Games, they were used in that.
Brilliant.
In between all that, I got offered the shop premises, so I moved from the unit to the old shop in Prescott. And I never thought you'd get passing trade in a boxing shop.
Yeah.
I thought it was people know me and see me about at the shows and the championships, and that's how it grew.
Brilliant.
And
do you remember what it was like selling your first pair? I've got mates who opened a business, and he said he started in the bedroom, and now the global.
Well, that was it. I had 150 quid, and I went down to Lonsdale and bought 150 quid's worth of gloves, and I sold them and made 50 quid.
Brilliant.
So I bought 200 quid's worth.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was doing all right with it. The bank were going, "Do you want a loan, lad?" Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant, great.
Yeah.
So I started getting container loads and paid the bank back, and so basically it was 150 quid in my back pocket. I'd swizzled from somewhere.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, took it out the housekeeping jar or something like that.
And what was the first product that you made yourself? Was it a pair of gloves or?
Yeah, they were a pair of Velcro wristed gloves. They were the first ones I did, and they just started all coming out in green and yellow and black and red and.
Was it just red back then, was it?
Yeah, it used to be just red or black, wasn't it? That was your lot.
Yeah.
Red, black or brown. So I started doing all these green and yellow ones, and to be fair, they looked, if I think back, they looked like twins type gloves.
Yeah.
They weren't like, they had a short wrist and the
Yeah,
little Velcro strap, and they were like a bulky little glove. But they sold, I think we used to sell them about 30 quid a pair.
Did you keep any? Have you still got a pair now, or
No, I wish. Yeah, the only pair that we've got is them.
Yeah, brilliant.
They're
The
20
Culshaw
years
gloves?
old pro fight glove them, yeah.
Peter Culshaw fought in a pair like that?
Yeah, Peter used to box in them. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And Ricky Hatton used to train in them. We used to love them, Ricky.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So what fighters then you started going into the industry with your own stuff and then endorsing fighters?
Well, any fighters I work with, I used to just rig them out.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes everywhere. They all have my shorts on, they all have...
Yeah. Do you remember the first fighter that you did get behind and you thought, oh, that fighter's actually wearing my product?
Johnny Armour.
Johnny Armour, what a name.
Yeah,
It's
Johnny Armour.
It's his real name, it's not even made up, that name, is it?
No, he was an ABA champion, England international, and then he went on to win the Commonwealth, European and WBU world title.
Brilliant. And you trained him for this?
I helped train him. Colin Moorcroft was head trainer. I was learning to be the pro trainer then, so...
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, he was the man. I love Colin. He taught me an awful lot. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lovely lad.
When this is a bit off topic, when you see two fighters fighting, or you see one fighter in your gloves on the telly, and it's just your gloves, and they have no affiliation to them, is there a bias say I want him to win because he's wearing my gloves?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, I can imagine he is. And also, if there's two fighters wearing the gloves, you're never in a rock and a hard place, and you think, oh, how does it benefit me more? Or...
Yeah, no, it depends which one I know better.
Yeah.
Funny enough, you know, from day one, from starting the brand, whenever I go to a show or I've been watching boxing on the telly, I always watch what gloves they've got on, what boots they've got on, who's made the shorts.
Yes.
So I just look at all the kit and I go, oh, you sly dog, you come to my shop with a week for a discount.
Brilliant. Is it like boxing in a sense that no matter what happens in this game, you're always learning something new and you keep advancing all the time? Because boxing, I've been in boxing 20 years and I'm still learning new things all the time. Do you learn new things in the States?
I've been a coach for nearly 30 years. I've been a trainer and a coach, amateur and pro.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning.
Well,
you can never stop learning. There's always people who know more than you.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them people. I go and listen to them and watch what he's doing and pick an idea and go, it's a good idea that.
Yeah.
In the boxing game, there's no. I know I'm saying this, but there's nobody with my experience doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to learn off other brands.
Yeah.
But I do listen to boxers like yourself and my customers and my boxers who I train, because they're going to use my gear.
Yeah.
And if it can be improved, I'll improve it that way.
Brilliant.
And I keep improving it.
Boss, well, one thing I always wondered is wearing a professional glove, so going from 8-ounce amateur glove to 8-ounce professional glove, I thought, how does one feel like a sparring glove and one you can just feel a knuckle? How do they weigh the same if one of them is so much bigger than the other?
Yeah, what do you do? With an amateur competition glove, they're made from what they call injected foam mould.
Yes.
So they'll have a mould of a glove, it's liquid foam, and then they cover that with leather, and that's an amateur boxing glove. Whereas a professional boxing glove is like sheets of foam, then horsehair, and another layer of foam, so it's all nice and compact inside. Or the sparring glove is just different layers, is like a memory foam sheet, then an impact foam, then a different kind of foam again, so you're getting different. That's what's called multi-layer.
Multi-layer,
so it's protecting your
hand.
hand.
You're not allowed just horsehair now, are you? I put a horsehair glove on before, what you did make back in the day, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, they were like getting hit by a piece of 4B2, yeah. Been hit with them, I know.
What's your thoughts on the hand strength over the padding? Is there too much padding ever? Or like we spoke up before on your channel, and we said about the wraps, and there's too much wraps sometimes, and you see these fighters now, and you see the cutsmen, don't you? A lot of them are blaggers. A lot of them I see in the backstage in the boxing shows. They call themselves hand wrapping specialists, but I see some of the wraps that they're putting on the fighters. It's like putting a glove under a glove.
Yeah.
It's too much padding.
Yeah, I think they go too far now. Over the years, it used to just bandage your hand. You look at pictures of like Ray Robinson and Marciano. They just look like they've had their sprained wrist and put a bandage on, don't they? And then as you look over the years, I remember when I first started wrapping hands, the great Denny Mancini taught me how to do that, and Colin. And we used to lay it a bit over the knuckle. Now you're only talking a centimetre, being in new money, half an inch. And that was it. And then you tape over the top of it. So you're still getting a fair crack. And it was hard. Now, when I wrap people's hands, I have to make a pad.
How many rolls?
So it's like 2 inches thick before you put...
It's full gauze, isn't it?
Of course, before you start putting the tape on top. And I've seen some of them now, it's like 4 inches of padding.
Well, there's wraps here that you can have half of one of them, and then two rolls of them on one hand. It's crazy, isn't it?
I think it's just got worse and worse and worse. I mean, I get it if you've got fragile hands,
They've got 8-ounce gloves on with 16-ounce wraps.
I know, I don't understand why they do it. And again, a lot of these, if you look at a lot of these cuts men, bandage men they have now, they've never boxed, have they?
No, and wrapping specialists.
Where you can see 90% of the trainers, they're all ex-fighters, aren't they? Because it's all we know. Just get back in there because we don't know nothing else. So we'll just carry on the tradition. But a lot of these new fellas along now, these cutsmen and that, they're not fighters, are they? No. So
that leads into my next question. What's your opinion on training methods? Because I see a lot of these new strength and conditioning coaches with all these mad techniques and how to reinvent the wheel. Do you think that there's a lot of benefit in going back to the way it was and coming back around to the start sometimes?
I'm not sure. Some things are better. I mean, obviously the new nutrition side of it. We used to weigh in with a Mars bar and a bottle of
boxer's dinner. Remember the boxer's lunch in the back?
Well, we used to weigh in with a Mars bar and a little bottle of Lucasade and maybe a banana if we were too rich. That was our nutrition. And the week before, we'd be sucking ice cubes, chewing steak and spitting it out and all.
Hydration was another thing, wasn't it? You don't drink water in between.
There was no such thing as hydration, really, was there either? But they changed the weigh-in times to compensate for that, didn't they? But I'm not too sure. I mean, as a boxing coach, boxing coach is the way I was taught. You do everything. You're a strength and conditioning, you're a dietitian, you're a pad man, you're a corner man, you're a cuts man, you're a bandage man. You do it all, and you learn to do it all. Whereas they seem to be these vultures who take more money off the boxer's payday, and another one, and another one, which I don't think you need really, do you?
A good one talking about the vultures here. This pair of gloves here, but I tried on before. They're 50 quid. I can't believe how cheap you sell them. I keep going back to that glove, and there's lots of better gloves in the shop here than them. But them gloves there, 50 quid. It's an unbelievable price. You see some of the prices online now, and you get over the grand for a pair of gloves, 500, 600 quid for a pair of gloves. How can they be justified? And can they be justified? In your opinion, what's going on there? Because I just think it's madness. I
look at it like this. Do you know you go and buy a pair of Armani jeans?
They're
300 quid. A pair of Levi's are 60 quid.
The
Levi's are better made. And you probably find the Armani jeans are made in Cambodia in a sweatshop. But because they've got that badge on them, people pay the 300 quid.
I think that's just what it is, because that's what I thought it was, but I don't know the craftsmanship that goes into it.
I think, I mean, we know Donardo, he's a craftsman, and the stuff he uses is expensive. So if you want to pay that kind of glove for his gloves, you're getting what you pay for, aren't you? Because they are what they are. It's like buying a Ferrari from a BMW, innit? You want to pay premium money. So I get that, and I understand it, and they are quality stuff. The way they come prepared, and he's on a different level. And winning 400-500 quid a pair, I don't get that. They're nice gloves. But I don't understand why they're 400 or 500 quid. I know what a pair of gloves costs to make. All gloves generally are made around the same area in the world, and they all cost roughly the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, you're just paying for the brand name on it.
Yeah, the red soul at the bottom of the shoe.
That's the one, yeah.
The last one, Chris, thank you for your time here, by the way. What's the future of the shop? Are you gonna? I've seen you been on social media. You've been on the YouTube and the social medias recently, and I like seeing the videos. I wish that I could see more of your stories, because I've spent some time with you today, and some of the stories are brilliant. I think the boxing fans would love to hear your background in boxing and the stories. What have you got planned for the future on the social media? Is that where it's going online?
YouTube, I think YouTube, you've got to be on, as a business, you've got to be on Instagram and TikTok and not so much Facebook, because they go around in circles, don't they? The Facebook's old now, so. Yeah. The YouTube, I'm enjoying it, to be honest. I'm learning it. I've got a wonderful assistant who knows everything about the YouTube and the computer side of it, so it saves me being an old fool, so I crack along doing it, like, but. It's trying to find content is the hardest part, isn't it? I've done this kind. I've done the history of the gloves and the history of the head guards, and they were quite good. Now I'm trying to I'm asking people to send, if you've got a pair of, I don't know, winning gloves and you want to compare, send them in and I'll do it honest. I won't batter them, I won't use them. I'll do an honest one-to-one opinion, say, with our nearest rival glove. Yeah. And I'll say, this one's this one's this, you know. Yeah. We're going to try and do that, but I've always fancied doing the little thing like me and you've done, the little podcasting, because but like I say, we're all family, we're all friends, aren't we? Yeah, so. And if anyone's got any suggestions, just leave them in the comments below here, what you'd like Chris to talk about. I would like to see you, Chris, talking about, because every one of these gloves that you do design, a fighter wears them and you've got a story behind them, and you have the story behind making them, and the trials and errors in them making them. I'd love to see you talk about your history in boxing, working with fighters, because you've got some good names, some really fantastic names there. You've got Ricky's full of idea, yeah. David Beck, WBU world champion, and many more names, like you say there, Peter Culshaw. I love all them our stories, and I think a lot of people now who are watching YouTube, they don't want to see something professional, they just want to see people talking a lot of bollocks, so that's what I watch. A lot of the people who watch our YouTube, I would imagine not a lot of them are boxers, are they? No. They may go to the gym and hit the bag and be fans and stuff like that. But I don't care. Just as long as people like what I do and they enjoy it. And mostly they've got to sort of come back with something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If they comment, sometimes we get no comments and I think, well, yeah, you've watched it, you've liked it, you haven't subscribed. There's the cue there, you should subscribe and like to this video right now. And coming down here today, one more, I've seen my old coach, Tony, I haven't seen him, must have been maybe 18 years, and he always wondered about him. He was kind to me as a kid, come in the store today, and he was in here, didn't recognise him until you told me his name. So yeah, it was great to catch up with him again. But thank you for your hospitality today, and having me in Pro Unboxing. Maybe we'll get you down the gym and you can do one with Tony next time. Yes, I will, fantastic. Tell you what, that was fantastic going to see Chris there. I spent 2.5 hours in the shop, 2.5 hours talking about boxing, catching up about old people who I knew. We had relationships with a lot of the same people in the same circles, and just a story.
At the roundabout, take the 4th exit onto St. Helens Linkway.
Right, calm down, lads. I'm on the way to sparring now. I'm on the way to the gym to go meet Edo to do some sparring, but yeah, so it was brilliant because, like, to David Burke, he was my coach as an amateur, and he had David Burke as a professional. Amazing, and he's telling me stories, and some of the stuff that Burke used to do in the gym, he was telling me that that's what he used to do with Burke, so it made sense in a way. So just brilliant, just boxing stories, brilliant. Boxing people, Liverpool boxing scene, fantastic, you know, so really enjoyed it. See how Chris starts his own business as well, you know, not everyone does it. It's hard to go out your comfort zone and start a boxing business and pursue it and you know, go with the business through the ups and the downs, because that's what not everyone sees about business. It's not always plain sailing, it's not income, it's a lot of the time it's tough, you know, so I take me out off tune for sticking to his craft. And yeah, as I say, it was a pleasure to spend the time with him. He gave me some boxing gear I'm going to use in the gym now. The £20 pair of gloves or the £1,000 pair of gloves, you know, it always feels the same to me no matter what it is. You smell the new leather on the gloves. It's a great feeling for me. It's something I always remember as a kid, getting new gloves, you know what I mean? So when I go to the gym now and try my new gloves out, thanks to Chris for sorting me out them few of them new gloves. Like he said, he asked me for some feedback. So yeah, it was a great little day going down there. Really enjoyed it. Now I'm on the way to go and spar with Edo. Edo's got a fight. I think Edo's gonna he's accepted the fight in America. He's going to be fighting on Pro Box TV. He's got a tough fight. He's fighting a southpaw, similar to me. So I'm going to go down the gym and help Edo out with the sparring. And replicate his sparring partner, and we work on a game plan together. Went in the gym with Edo the other day, and I was giving him a touch around the game plan, and I seen how different people see it, different sides of boxing, you know. And I never ever seen it like that before. And all the time I've been in boxing, I've never ever had this outlook on setting game plans up as a coach would, if that makes sense. Sort of.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto St. Helens Linkway.
Sort of coach like, and seeing how a coach puts together a game plan. I've always knew it just intuitively for myself, how it works, and I always get a game plan by watching someone, but how you would structure the game plan for another fighter to go in there and do that, you know, different.
In 1 mile, at the roundabout, take the third exit to merge onto the A557 towards Widnes.
So it was just different how you would structure the game plan, not for yourself because you know what you can do. Structure the game plan out of the eyes of another fighter. Never seen it like that. So yeah, brilliant. And you can also use that to look at your opponent to see how he would structure the game plan around you, and how you would then nullify his game plan by going one further and changing up what he assumes you're going to do. So boxing always gives another little spin on things, and you're always finding new ways of doing things. You know?
At the next lights, at the roundabout, take the third exit.
And you're always getting a new insight into boxing. I've been in for 20 years. Did I say that before? I never said that, did I? So yeah, I've been around for a long time. So yeah, new things all the time. Boxing's just fantastic. I love boxing so much. I love this sport so much. Boxing is my life.
At the roundabout, take the third exit to merge onto the A557 towards Widnes.
So, we're going to spar today, aren't we? Knock fuck out of each other.
No, you're going to knock fuck out of me, as usual.
Are you still on plenty of fish island?
Plenty of fucking pies.
Plenty of pies.com. You can go on here and get 10% off Radbury Nesbitt vest. Plentyofvest.com. You're going to spar today, aren't you? Prepared me for Miami. What did you mean, Miami? Tampa. Shows what type of manager I am, I don't even know where he's fighting.
Manager, trainer, sparring partner.
So, you're fighting Tampa? Whereabouts? Dolphins Arena?
Exhibition centre.
How long are that? Pro Box Exhibition Centre? Yeah.
3 weeks. 3.5 weeks.
No, 4 weeks. 4 weeks Wednesday, we fight.
Fighting on a Wednesday. What do you do on Pro Box? They fight, they put the, they don't compete with the band of names, do they? So they put the shows on halfway through the week, so they get more eyes, and the fighters, they feed the fighters to the top channel, so that's where Edo does well or what? I think that's what they're thinking there, is it? What, Ed, fight, do well on these shows, then you go to a bigger one, is that what it is? And then
Go to back to Nedley shops for the sake of the jazz.
Bellvale Shopping Centre, exercise for less, Netherly TV, the Netherly Bomber. You're unbeaten on Netherly, aren't you?
You're unbeaten, yeah. Work on something. Jazz is out on the outlet.
Southpaw, isn't he?
Southpaw. Not
Long.
on Jazz's level, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
The game plan is, if he dies, he dies.
Well, that's why we do that.
What team are you going for? Are you keeping the same shorts?
Yeah, keeping Apollo, aren't I? Got it, R.I.P. Apollo.
R.I.P. Apollo, Delta.
Gonna go fucking Apollo all the way, haven't we?
Getting the top hat.
Nah, good. Top off, Jazz. I hit Jazz to the goals at the end, doesn't he?
You owe me a favour.
It's me in for the spar. Ding, ding.
Can do everything with one hand, you know. How old, leave in the comment section below, how old do you think this vest is? Or do you think it was grey when I bought it?
I reckon you've had that 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
What do you reckon in the chat?
Yeah. But yeah, guys, this is Tyrone McKenna's. It's a flyer guard. We call it the Flyrone. Tyrone's retired now, so I'm going to put it to good use. Leon, get in there. Tell the boys what's been happening for you since you fight.
Since the Ben fight?
Ben Whittaker fight on Sky Sports.
I've been keeping on it. There's a lot of opportunities that are going to come, so just staying ready, keeping my fitness up. Obviously that was a massive event, a massive occasion, but I want to try and stay at this level now, so
Keep the ball
it's
rolling.
about we keep it moving, don't we? We keep pushing forward.
Looking forward
You
to
still
it.
got your title, and you still got the Central Area title.
Central area.
Big year at every lad. Look, I think your stock went up after that fight, though, didn't it?
100%, yeah, 100%. It's only been positive.
Have you felt on the social media? Yeah. Your stock went up then?
100%, yeah.
Sometimes you have to take them opportunities. don't you?
Got it, yeah. Thank you.
What was the preparation you got? You got 3 weeks ago?
8 days, 9 days.
9 days?
I started once.
And what tends to be a weight loss one of them?
The weight, yeah, it's mainly like the weight. It's mainly like a weight cut, more than like training. Because you can't get any fitter, any stronger in 9 days. So just see what I can in it.
You get any sparring within that? Did you spar right away or one spar?
I had one spar, and then my neck went, and then I had to just rest then. Really bad neck, but I don't know what I considering. So
Well, fighting him, are you concerned of how he can make you look silly with the show button? Because you didn't do it, you couldn't.
nah,
you couldn't do it.
maybe a little bit, but you're getting what you're getting with Ben. You've got to expect it, and if you let that phase you, it's your own fault. You know what I mean? You don't bite it at the bait, because that's all he does. He likes to set traps. He likes to come in, and then you counters off. So that's why I just tried to let him do his thing, and I just stuck to my game plan.
What's the plan now, lad, moving forward? You're going to get yourself another win and further down the line, you'd like to fight him again?
100%, yeah. So we wanna get the English by this end of this year, and hopefully, you know, the way we're going, hopefully we can get that again next year for like a British title or something. That's the most ideal thing. So, like I said, English title by the end of this year.
The rematch, you want the rematch, yeah?
It'll be an amazing opportunity again, yeah. So it'll be a much bigger fight than it was last time. So let's wait and see what the future brings.
That's right.
Really?
Ready to go?
People don't see what goes into it behind the scenes, you know what I mean? People watching on Sky Sports, they think, because it's Sky Sports and a boxing show, this fella must have had all the preparation, he must be making millions, but the truth is, you know what I mean, they look for an opponent last minute, and not many people who are a winning fighter, like Leon, have the balls to step in and take the chance. So take me hat off to him, and he's done so proud. The stocks went up, so yeah, man, good stuff.
Want to ring the bell? Maybe I went here with the wrong guy. Come on, Mark. Just talk. Ready?
Well in, lads.
It's hard, fella. Nice one, fella. Straight there. Straight there.
Fast pace that though.
Can't get better than that, can you?
Southpaw as well, perfect.
You beast, man.
Looks you now, lads, done for the day or?
Do a little bit of shadow. Half an hour. Seems any coffee shops open now.
Yeah.
So now I'll go to the gym after the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully a fight date soon, yeah?
Yeah, supposed to leave him. He said the end of June. That's what we're looking at, so. What will that be now? 8 weeks, 9 weeks?
Maybe 8 weeks, yeah? End of April now, innit? May, June.
I'm fit though, so if I do go into a camp for 9 weeks time, I've been staying on top of my weight, so it'll be like 5 or 6 week camp.
Yeah.
That's including the week off. It's so easy to go over.
Yeah.
Good coaches know how to get you fit, but not everyone knows how to bring you down, you know, so.
Yeah.
Been around with many, I would say 17 title fights, so I know now when to start landing the plane, you know. Just thinking I need to get my money's worth out of this vest only. Yeah. Shout out to whoever lost them, you know, thanks for the vests. Get me word out of it.
Let's go and see through now.
I've got about 2 years left in this, I reckon.
Brown's building up to the second spar back, Jazz, weren't it?
Yeah.
Jazz was just giving me a heavy beat down, but that's what you need, fighting at
We've forgot our own names, haven't we? It's not bad, but we did come to me early and I was waiting in your gym for you and you were waiting in my gym for me.
I sat in Jazz's gym for an hour and Jazz sat in here for an hour. Next thing around Jazzy, where are you? Your gym, fucking hell. After I come all the way from town to witness. But Jazz is going to help train me as much as you can help me.
We watched the YouTube. By the time this is out, they'll have watched the YouTube of your American trip and we're going back, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going back. 5 weeks tomorrow, we're going to be flying out to Tampa.
Who are we fighting at?
Mikel Gamble, 7-0, 4 KOs, Southpaw.
Yeah, that's why I'm helping Southpaw, isn't it?
Jazz is going to give me, well, put as best as he can give me.
Yeah, we're working on a game plan, aren't we?
Working on a game plan and at the minute, Jazz is fucking higher than me. But
we're working on things, aren't we?
We're working on things, yeah. It's great. I was a lot better than I was Monday or Tuesday when we last sparred, and then same again next week.
Yeah, we're not giving nothing away, are we? But you're getting there, weren't you? So
getting there, yeah. I'm hoping, like, as the weeks go on, my game plan's going to improve and I'm going to get better. Yeah. After 4 months no sparring really due to my hand and injury.
Yeah, the bad hand, didn't you? That's why you pulled off the last fight, weren't you? On what was it? You were on the Box Nation card, weren't you? The first one back.
Box Nation card in Highland Leisure, 26th of April, but
that's how it goes, isn't it?
I've only just started sparring again this week. And I just wouldn't have wanted the risk. Because I had that contract through with the American one as well. It was a bit risky taking that with 2 weeks worth of training camp behind me, you know what I mean? And then going into...
Good days, but you're taking serious, aren't you, Ned?
I'm just the hardest I've ever trained, twice a day. Just recently started pot and shots, isn't it?
Pot and shots,
pot and shots.
Ashwagandha and the... what's the other thing?
Tomcat Ali.
Tomcat Ali, Ashwagandha, Shilajit.
And CMOS. 2 days into it, whip score.
Whip score gone up, hasn't it?
Whip score is like fucking, it's gone, HRV has gone through the roof, so.
Good little business, isn't it? Pot and shots.
Yeah, well, pot and shots, well, I'm also always sceptical of stuff like that, Jazzy, yeah.
I might get on it because of your results.
And within 2 days, I've never had a HRV this high, and it's through the roof, and...
Yeah. So, me and Edo, I'm going to also take, if Edo's whip score keeps going up and stays the way it is, because it's gone higher than it's been before, I'm going to also take the Ashwagandha, Shilajit and the Tomcat Ali. And if mine goes up as well, and they both, what's the way, correlate, and then we'll know it is actually working, so...
Because I can't think of, I've not changed nothing. It's only had that for 2 days and it's through the roof, so... Big shout out to Pot and Shots and Colin Dickens for sponsoring me for
I love that. I haven't got me out for the second name, but when people call him Colin Dickens, he eats it.
He sponsored me for this fight. He's going to help me, give me that extra % what we need to win, Josh, isn't it?
Right, Dicko, lad.